Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Henry Omokoba. I'm Alumni Relations Director at LBS Business School. It's a pleasure to welcome you to this Alumni Session. August guest speaker today, General Martin
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to get myself together because I feel a bit intimidated by the group that I found here. Let me start by telling you my former profession joke. That is an army joke. A battalion in the army went on a bush camp, or that is what the general people call it, but in the military is an exercise, a field exercise. And in going to that field exercise, they tried what we call the RSM, that is the Regimental Sergeant Major. He goes to set up the camp with the adjutant and the quartermaster. Then when they set up the camp, the battalion commander called the CO, that is the commanding officer, came. And when the commanding officer came, he went around making sure that everything is put in place, and that is management. Where is the cookhouse, what you call the dining area? Where is the officers' mess? Where is the soldiers' canteen? That's where the soldiers eat. Everywhere. And the RSM, and they were showing him, this is it, sir, this is it, this is. So they were very happy. Then he got to a place, he then asked, RSM says, sir, he said, where is the restroom? And the RSM said, he said, I mean the toilet. He said, oh, sir. Then he realized that they have not constructed a field toilet. So he turned and told his CEO, sir, 100 yards any direction. Right, thank you so much for the honor and for the invitation. I almost missed coming to speak to you. And I felt if I have done that, first of all, I would have let one of my best friends down. Secondly, I would have let the military down because they are gentlemen. Because I always say we, I've forgotten that I'm no longer there. They are gentlemen, and when they give their words, their yes is yes. So I'm happy that at the end, I'm able to come to share with you this issue today on corporate leadership. Leadership has is a very important thing in every organization. And I think leadership is as old as human nature itself. Because in every group of human endeavor, there have always been leaders. I know when you talk about leadership, people think of president, they think of the CEOs, but we tend to forget that even our parents are leaders. In our classes, when we were even primary school or kindergarten, we have monitor. He's a leader. So when we think of leadership, please, we should think across the board. And that's why I think in the military area we have 3 layers of leaders. The tactical leader, the operational leader, and the strategic leader. There are several definitions of leadership, but I will just take 2, and then I will give you the 3rd definition of my own definition. My own definition of leadership, and that is ability to influence. That is my own definition of leadership. I think that leaders are not born, but they are made. So I believe that leadership, people, it's something that you can develop and you can learn. What does leadership require? It requires courage, it requires knowledge, and good planning. Credibility is another thing that a leader must have. If you are not credible, forget it. If people have no confidence in you, forget it. You will not get any service from them. Credibility is important. Building confidence among people is important. Maintaining the knowledge and knowing and understanding the environment, how it is going, is important. What I'm trying to say is that leadership requires skills. Leadership requires a lot of patience. And leadership requires balancing the equation, making sure that you still remain credible. Once you remove credibility from leadership, from my experience, I think you have virtually thrown away the towel, throw in the towel. So, what do you do as a leader? I think a leader needs to win the heart and minds of the people he is working with. You have to cultivate friendship. You have to cultivate a relationship. As a leader, you must cultivate a relationship. You have to show courage even in the midst of confusion. If you cannot do that, you have to influence. Remember, my definition of leadership is ability to influence. If you can't influence the thinking of your people, if they are frightened and you look frightened, then remember what is going to happen. The blind man will be leading a blind man, and you know where it's going to end. You must communicate with your subordinate. You must put them in the picture of what you are doing. As a leader, you must even have to do greater jobs than what you want your subordinates to do. If you don't do that, then you have to find another thing. You are not a leader. I want to say that leadership should be prepared for danger. There will be casualties in leadership. His knowledge may be limited. It's a thing to believe that the most knowledgeable person will be the best leader. No. His knowledge may be limited, but he should be thorough. As a leader, you must be thorough in what you are doing. You must get the facts, because any decision made out of assumption is going to fail. And if you allow your people to tell you what you want to hear and not what is actually happening, you don't have a thorough knowledge of what is happening, you will make wrong decisions. Whether you are in business, you are competitors, you have to know where do they derive their freedom of action, where do they derive their strength, and where is their will of acting coming from. And once you know that, then you can now take care of it. But if you don't know the center of gravity, you will then have a big challenge. You get a shark and put it in an aquarium. If that aquarium is only 1 foot wide, that shark will grow to what is allowed in that space. And you may have a mature shark 6 inches long. But if you allow that same shark, take it, drop it in the ocean, and follow it, you will find out that that shark will develop and become 25 up to 40 feet long. What does it mean? That the shark is very adaptable. If you restrict your workers, if you restrict your colleagues as a boss, you don't give them space to use their initiative, you don't get space to develop, you don't train them, you restrict them and give them what to do and how to do it, there will be that shark in the aquarium. They will never grow beyond 6 inches. Show you how you can still show your presence and the respect you require by not being aggressive. Treating your people very humanely, and when you are hungry, That means once they have done something wrong, admonish them, but in a humane way, not in a way of destroying the person. But if we get it right, we can then tell the world we have sacrificed so much. What do we have in return? We demand. We are not requesting. We demand this. But that is where our foreign policy, our defense policy, our national policy will work together, understanding, sending one message. Not the, like most of our organizations, government and private, we work in parallel pillars form and not in a teamwork. And that is why sometimes one ministry doesn't know what the other ministry is doing. One organization in the same organization don't know what the other department is doing, because we don't work as a team. And teamwork is what leadership is all about. You must cultivate, inculcate teamwork and team spirit into your people. Thank you.